Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kaustubha. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on!
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host, senior educator at the Bhakti Center, New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Makeover Monday. It's a new day of the week. It's a new week to recalibrate yourself, get your ducks in the row. Whatever happened last week, that's over. That's dead. Don't live in last week. Sometimes we suffer from moving forward. Always looking in the rear view mirror. Why can't I do this? I guess I'm just like this, or my past. Guess what? Your past doesn't equal your future. It's a new day. Good morning, Kaustubha.
Good morning, Raghu.
Sitting here with Mara, spinning the dials.
I got Jiva G Life Coach over here.
You got Jiva G Life Coaching, Harry Ball. Look at that. Mayapur is more alive than ever with Jiva G there. How are you, Jiva?
That's right.
Well, we're looking forward to Mayapur. I'll just make a little plug for Mayapur. We are doing a retreat, me and Kaustubha. A lot of people we know what they're doing? They're flying out for the Flower Festival on Friday, January 26th, chilling. The Flower Festival is the 27th. Sunday, we have a day off in Mumbai. And then Monday, we all fly to Mayapur. It's a little quick and relatively inexpensive retreat, pilgrimage, rather, to the holy place, Mayapur, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, the fountainhead of kirtan. So if you like kirtan and you just like a beautiful place in India to chill out, it's not like one of my usually pilgrimages where we're dragging people all around the country, which is also fun, but we're going to park it in Mayapur, and I'm so looking forward to being there with you, Kaustubha, truthfully.
All right, we're going to do it.
Yeah,
that's great. That way people have kind of like a double experience. You have the Flower Festival. It's worth traveling to India just for the Flower Festival. Then you go over to Mayapur.
Well, the thing about traveling to India, you don't want to go there for a short period of time. Like, you don't want to go there for 3 days, because
you really could.
It's exhausting. Just exhausting to fly there. Then you got to get your brain waves recalibrated to the time zones. So I feel like this is the minimum amount of time. Go. It's like if you go to the Flower Festival, go to this, it'll be like 10 days. You're in and out, and you've like transformed your whole year. Yeah. And the pilgrimage, all the info is on our website, wisdomofthesages.com. That's all I'm going to say, but I'm looking forward to
I'm on a mission. On that day off, Tara and I are on a mission. On the Sunday that we have off, there's a neighborhood in Mumbai called Matunga. Matunga.
What's there?
That's where like all the it's like a South Indian neighborhood, and they got like all these South Indian shops, and that's where they get the good South Indian metals.
Ooh.
And the Ganga temple here, it really needs a new bell.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, and they need a high quality, good metal. We're gonna pick up a bell. That's what we'd like to offer.
Well, guess what?
Right?
I just want to put this out there that me and Mara and my 9-year-old Tarun, we went to India. We went to New York City yesterday to visit my mom, and we stayed at Kaustubha's apartment. And I want to say I have so much more respect for you.
No,
just having staying in Kaustubha. I just want to put this out there. Your apartment is like your mind.
This
There
Gita
is
Priya's mind, actually. It's really, she deserves
It's
more
your
credit.
mind too. I'm going to give credit to your wife. I'm going to give credit to you. There is not a piece of dust out of place in that apartment. Everything is perpendicular and parallel. I was like, anyone who has a home or a space, there's always a little bit of clutter. There's always a bit of everything. It's unbelievable. It's wrinkle free. And it's like you're walking into the spiritual world. And your deity is recovered, and then we called you on the phone. You said, well, could you just take down the cover for the deities?
Yeah.
Those deities belong in a gigantic temple.
I think when we die, I would love if in New York City there were a temple for Radha Damodar.
You know what? Okay, you hear that, people?
You can kill me if you want to, too. If you're going to build a temple, you can kill me.
He's giving us blessings. But I tell you, those deities of Gornatai and Radha Damodar are unbelievable.
Huh?
Unbelievable.
My heart melts when I see
No, I
that.
just feel like there's a level in your consciousness that I just don't have yet. And hopefully I'll get it someday, but I'm just like not there. I'm crawling around in the gutter. After seeing your deity, I realize I live in a gutter. My brain, my consciousness is very low. It's very dark.
No, I want to say this. I called you up in the morning and I said, hey, what's going on over there? He said, well, over there in that corner, Tarun is reading the Ramayana comics. And then over there, Mara's sitting and she's reading Bhagavatam or something. And then I'm sitting over here. This was like the classic New York Sunday morning where they would take the New York Times and everybody splits it up, but you're doing it on the spiritual level, the bhakti level. I was impressed. That was very civilized, Raghunath. That was very civilized.
We were. Did you try to wrangle Tarun's mind and just have him read the Ramayana, which was good. Your apartment was completely silent. We were just like chanting.
It's so quiet, isn't it, for New York City?
Reading, and yeah, it was a very nice morning we had.
People think you can't have a quiet home in New York. That home is quieter than a lot of homes that are not in the that are like out in the suburbs.
We had 2.5 hours to 3 hours of sadhana before we made even any noise in that place. It was great. And then we went out to visit Grandma.
Nice.
She's
Grandma
doing good.
Terry.
Grandma Terry. We took her out. We found a great vegetarian place in China. What is it called?
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Budai Bodhi kosher vegetarian.
Kosher vegetarian. Place was packed.
Kosher vegetarian.
Kosher vegetarian for the Jewish devotees out there.
Chinese.
Right. Enough of my banter.
Yeah, let's get into things. First, Mara announcements, right?
Yep. We got back to recovery group meetings today at 1, 2, and 9 p.m. And also, do you know whose birthday is today?
Who?
Mallory.
Ooh,
Mallory. Mallory, happy birthday.
All right.
Mallory's a trooper. Mallory, no matter what she's going through, she keeps the spirits high. She sees life from a transcendental perspective. I tip my hat to Mallory, and I wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, you know what? And that's hard to do. It's hard to keep your mind Krishna conscious when the body's going through some hell. And it's impressive.
We brought her to Italy, and she said, I'm going to stay right here. I like this place.
I brought her to India. She goes, I'm going to stay right here. I like this place. She has a habit. Don't bring her places.
All
She'll
the
just
people
stay there.
in Villa Vrindavan just fell in love with her, right? It's like, oh, Mallory, Mallory, Mallory.
Mallory, ciao. Mangiari, Mallory. Alrighty.
We got a nugget?
Yes, I do. And you're not going to believe who this nugget's from, my friend.
I was surprised to even see him come up with a nugget like this, but I remember him from our youth.
Me too. He was big. And his name is David Brenner. He was a popular comedian when we were young.
People probably don't even know him now, but he was just always on like the Johnny Carson thing.
He was a Johnny Carson. Yeah. I never knew he was a spiritual person, but this is a great spiritual.
I know.
Sometimes people who play some role in the material world have a very deep spiritual side, like Dwight from The Office. Very spiritual guy. Just don't know him. Yeah. And I think it takes a deep type of intelligence to comedy as well.
It's not easy. Because, you can be crude. That's one thing, but
yeah, but generally, like any artist, they're seeing the world from different angles, and when you see it from different angles, you see the pain of the material world as well. And I think that's what this is. Total speculation here, but could be why you could either be a comedian, be very depressed, very existential, or very spiritual. because you're just not seeing the world the way everyone else is seeing it. And that's the funny part of it, because the world is actually quite comical. Because we're like banging our heads against the glass, trying to reach the sun. Okay.
So what does David Brenner have to say?
David Brenner says we cannot attain the presence of God.
What?
We cannot attain the presence of God. We're already totally in the presence of God. What's missing is awareness.
Oh, pregnant pause.
That's
nice.
a good. You like that? That's a good quote, isn't it? We cannot attain the presence of God. We're already in the presence of God. What's missing? Awareness.
Oh, now a pregnant pause with a whisper at the end.
Whisper. Gonna bring it down low. Yeah, that's beautiful. I feel like this is something we say on a regular basis. It's like you can't convert somebody to being a spirit soul. They are a spirit soul. They're just not aware that they're spirit souls. They're thinking they're like, and I'm Irish, I'm Italian guy from New York, from Brooklyn. No. That is a temporary suit of clothes you're wearing. Just like you dress up for a wedding, you put on a suit. You're not that suit. That's going back in the closet. Then you've got a whole new set of clothes to wear the next day. We have roles. We have careers. We have a bank balance. We have an ethnicity. We even have a religion. That's not us. The Vedas say there is one us. It's an eternal spiritual being. It's got everything else that's external. It can be quit. It can be given up. It can be abandoned. It will get taken away from us. We have one thing that we can say is real, and that is I'm a pure spirit soul. But mostly we've forgotten. And the whole yoga process is a process of remembering that.
Nice. Thank you, Raghunath. Yeah.
Thank you, David Brenner.
I don't think anyone can hear you. You sometimes use this this analogy of what do you call it? Why can't I think of
pure soul theology?
No, the thing where you why can't I think of what you call it? Where you kind of like knit a picture kind of thing.
Tapestry.
Thank you.
Knitting pictures. Knitting pictures with Kaustubha. Hi.
So like
I'm Kaustubha.
From a tapestry, let's say the tapestry could be an image of anything.
I like to think of like a waterfall, a sunrise, forest.
Okay, let's say a forest image, that's like with wide variety of foliage and
fauna,
animals, maybe.
Yeah, or a deer drinking from the pond at the bottom.
Now you'd look at that. When you look at it from one side, you don't realize how it's being held together. Then if you flip it to the other side, you can see, oh, there's like a network of threads that is holding it all together, right? You don't notice that. This also goes to Bhagavad Gita, of course.
It's like
too,
mycelium.
Right?
It's the mycelium underneath
I don't
the
even know
earth.
what that is.
You don't know what it is. It's holding everything together, my friend. Communicating.
Cilium?
Mycelium.
Okay.
Everyone's nodding. Everybody knows this.
I'm not aware of that.
You got to come to the countryside. We'll teach you about it. Mycelium.
Okay, but just thinking about this, right? You flip over the tapestry and you see, oh, because before you even make the tapestry, right, you have that gridlock kind of whatever. I don't know what they call that. You go and buy that stuff, I'm sure. And it's that waft and weave, that
what?
It's that grid work in the back that's holding everything together.
The random threads.
Not the random threads, the grid work that it's all tied in, that's holding it all together.
Okay. Yes. But I'm saying there's random threads coming out. One thing also to
hold it. I'm still working on this.
Really polish this analogy, baby. Before you go, you're going to do it, but it's
okay.
not only is it intact, that beautiful scene of the waterfall, etc. It's actually breathtaking. It appears breathtaking, like to the point where you'd want to hang it on the wall. Now, continue with the analogy.
Flip it over, you realize, oh, there's something that holds it all together. It's not held together by. It's not random. It didn't all just land that way. There's something behind it that holds it all together. Now, seeing this is, you talk about the difference between religion and spirituality. Religion could just mean I go to the certain place of worship, I identify with a certain religious group, I have a certain faith that there's a God, and et cetera, et cetera. But spirituality means I'm trying to see what's I can't see on this side, but that's holding it together all the time. And the only thing that's missing is my awareness of it.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I see it? How will I realize it? I need to reflect. I need to hear about it. I need to hear about it from texts that speak to it, right? Texts that say, here's the visions of the people that understood what was behind the tapestry. They've been behind it. They've seen it. They're talking about it. They're encouraging us to try to see that behind the tapestry, there's that grid. And when you start to think about it as you move through life, you realize there is something holding this all together. We say that's Vishnu, right? He's pervading everything. He's within the heart of every living being. He's within every atom. It's his awareness that ties everything together. We're meant to see that. And you know what you and I were talking about before, stereograms is another example, right?
Stereograms. They were big in the 90s. We almost made a Shelter record cover. I don't know if Parmananda remembers us, out of a stereogram. We were going to have someone make one for us.
Yeah.
Those are those things that you stare at. And it looks just like a bunch of freaky, random, whatever, patterns. And it looks like nothing. It looks like a weird psychedelic piece of art from the 60s. But if you look at it long enough, something happens. It goes pop. And like a thing, a 3D thing comes out of it. How do they do that?
Well, that's, but here's the point, right? You look at it, you don't see it. But if you keep staring at it in the right way, and you have to practice it, it takes some time.
It's like the holy name.
It takes some effort, and you stare deep into it, and then eventually what is there all along, but you couldn't see, now you see it. And so this is spirituality, right? That I want to see what's behind it. I want to see what's holding it together. I'm going to keep looking at this world a little differently than everyone else looks at it. I'm going to slow down a little bit, right? I'm going to have to, these sages will tell us that there are certain things that make it hard, just like when you stare at that thing. And, you know, there was a whole Seinfeld thing about that too, right? Where it's like,
oh, that's right. That's right.
There was that, what was his name? The guy that Elaine worked for.
Oh yeah.
And
Peterson.
Not Peterson.
Pitt,
It was
Mr.
the other.
Pitt. Mr. Pitt. Metro Road Rage knows all these. Thank you,
Mr. Pitt. So Mr. Pitt, he couldn't see it, and everybody's trying to tell him how to see it. No, you got to like stare. You got to, you know, and they're trying to help him see it. So these sages are giving us ideas about what helps us see it and what kind of prevents us from seeing it. You know, I will not be able to see what's holding this universe together if I want to be the center. If I want to conceive of myself in a sense as the person that's holding it all together.
Sure.
If I want prestige, wherein I'm kind of seeing myself of the center of it, and I want other people to see me as the center of it, you know what? You're not going to be able to see it because the two are contradictory. Like, you know, seeing what's behind it and conceiving yourself as the center of it, or they kind of don't work together. So you make your choice. What's the desire in your heart? I want prestige. You know, if I want to enjoy my senses separately from my connection to that divine source that's holding it all together, then then you're going to forget about what's holding it all together, and your awareness will be focused on the external, you know. And the yoga practice, the spiritual practice, is doing the disciplines, engaging in the practices that bring my mind into a deeper and deeper gaze into this world, to that in one sense, great. You know, sometimes when you're staring at that thing, it's like, I almost got it, I don't got it. Then you lose it and you can't get it back.
Yeah.
And then you go again. I almost got it. I got it.
That's like all of us on our bhakti path. I almost got Krishna. He disappeared today. I thought I had him. I thought I figured this out. I was feeling good about myself. I got arrogant. He took off. You know, it's like and there's clues. There's clues all over the Bhagavad Gita, all over the Bhagavatam. You know what? When you're speaking, immediately that verse, Bogaishvarya Prashaktanam Prataya Paritachedasam, right? Those who are bewildered, those who are attracted to material opulence and sense enjoyment, and bewildered by such things. Not just that you're attracted, like, oh, look at that nice car, and sense enjoyment, like, oh, let's indulge, let's go out there, or she's hot, he's hot, she's hot, they're hot. Once you're in that consciousness, like, this is how This is how to get the home run of the material world. This is what a grand slam home run is. If I have her and him and do this and purchase that, if that's where your mind is at and you're bewildered by such things, like you really think that's the goal, the resolute determination for devotional service will not take place. That's
and that
the
vision
clue.
will not manifest. You won't be able to see it.
So what you were saying is that humility that comes with it, that desire not to find fault with other people, is a big part of the combination lock to understand bhakti. What else could you say?
Yeah. In one sense, all of those things, whether it's our humility, our tolerance, our respect to every living being, our lack of need for our own selves to be validated. These are all external concerns, and when you're focused external, you're never going to see that internal picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way to conceive of spirituality, and it's one way to conceive of the practice of bhakti. I want to see what's behind everything. The very name Vishnu means that which is pervading everything, right? God is everywhere. We cannot attain the presence of God. We're already totally in the presence of God. There's this network that's holding everything together, including my own heartbeat and my own ability to breathe, my own consciousness, my own ability to experience. There's something, and really not just something, someone that's tying the whole thing together. I'm in the presence of that being at every moment. Yeah. My awareness of that is missing. I want to deepen the awareness of that, and all these practices and contemplations and reflections are meant to help us eventually focus, and then see it.
I love that correction, because a physicist, or nowadays are like scientists who are like sort of spiritual, and they'll be like, yes, there's an energy, a force, some type of universal gel gluing everything together. Now it's that's the first part of it, right? That's just the first step, right? And that verse, another verse came up, right? Mata parataram nanyat kunchidasti dhananjaya. There is no truth superior to me. Everything is resting upon me as pearls are strung on a thread, right? When you see the pearls, it looks like they're floating in space. They're not. There's something subtle, invisible, holding all those pearls together. That's Krishna. He's the magic behind it.
Nice.
Good morning, my friend.
All right. So we're going to be reading a little bit about this kind of stuff. We're reading the prayers of the devas, the demigods, to Lord Vishnu, and they're kind of like they're saying that we have trouble understanding you, we have trouble seeing you all the time. Although they're looking at him right now, they're looking at his form, but they don't always see him.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam midirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyana Tamarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Hey, Kaustubha.
Yes.
Happy Govardhan Puja.
Oh, this is tomorrow over here. Is it?
Okay, it's Govardhan Puja here. We're having a little tiny Mahotsav here festival.
Who's coming over?
Sachi and Kaylee and some locals. Some locals. Nothing big. Not like a big.
I saw Maya was down in the city. She went to go see Radha Govinda. She made a great little video. You saw that?
That was cute. Maya's car blew up. We're praying for your car on Govardhan Puja. But I got special mercy of Govardhan last night. I woke up in the middle of the night leading a kirtan, and it was like loud, and it's like I was dreaming of kirtan. It was so nice.
Wow.
It was nice. And then I went back to bed. I thought Govardhan wants me to wake up. I really need to sleep. It was 3 a.m. And then I went back to bed, woke up at 4:30, and I was sitting amongst all these beautiful devotees, and that's how I woke up. sometimes you get special mercy through dreams. You know what I mean?
Did I ever tell you about my dream? I don't
No.
normally talk about the dreams.
Oh, but tell us about your secret spiritual dreams.
Well, just because you said that, I'll say it.
Okay. What?
I don't normally talk about. I don't talk about these dreams because I want to have more dreams like this, and I think if I talk about too much, I may not get more dreams.
No, talk about them more.
Maybe the more you talk about them, the more they come.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I had a dream once. I had one night. This was many years ago. I was with a group of other devotees. I was in Mayapur, and we got on a bus and we drove up to the birthplace of Lord Nityananda.
This is real life or dream?
This was real life.
Okay.
Ekachakra, right?
Okay.
Now, Ekachakra is this village way out in the middle of material nowhere. Spiritual, it's like this.
It's tied to the Pandavas as well, Ekachakra.
The Pandavas do have a history there. Yes, they did. When they were living incognito, they spent some time there. And but it's where Lord Nityananda was born. And when I went there, I heard it's changed since then, but when I went there was only one light bulb in the entire place.
You know what? I've never went there, but I've heard that it was like charming. Yeah.
Charming village. You know, you pull in there and all the little children come running out and they start going, Johnny Tai, Johnny Tai, Johnny Tai. They're dancing around in ecstasy. Just Johnny Tai, Johnny Tai. And so I spent the night there in a temple that was under construction. So it was really just like the skeleton of a building with no ceiling. Okay. And just hay, kind of
hay.
I was sleeping on the hay, you know.
Oh, like a horse.
Yes. Well, I don't know if horses sleep in the hay, but they probably do.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah. And that night, first of all, one thing that just blew my mind was this. I'd never seen so many stars in my life. You know, it was like incredible.
Yeah. You got to come up. You got to come upstate more. They're
No,
here too. They're here too.
I've been
There's
upstate.
not more stars. I appreciate your spiritual story,
less
but there's
electricity.
not more. There's not more.
I could see more stars
Because
there's no electricity.
Okay, there's no electricity on my street either.
And it's
there's
not
no
the same.
light.
There's still that light diffusion kind of thing.
There's
going
not.
on.
There's not. But anyway,
Okay, anyway,
you have a spiritual story. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So, also that evening, someone cooked for us, and they made these puris, you know, which is like this bread that's deep fried in oil.
It's delicious.
And in India, but in India, you never know what's going to happen, and that was very indigestible.
Oh, okay.
And so I woke up throughout the night, and I would have to throw up, and then I'd go back to sleep, go back to my hay bale, and go back to sleep.
Wait a second. Is this a spiritual story or the Calcutta Book Fair story?
No, it's not. That's his graphic I'm gonna get is about that.
Okay.
But 3 times during the night I had to wake up, throw up, go back to sleep.
Okay.
It's brutal.
Let's move on.
But I was having the deepest, and before we got there, one deep spiritualist mentioned that you have the most amazing dreams here when you sleep in this village.
Oh, really?
I did. And I had 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them.
Really?
And every, I would wake up, throw up, go back to sleep, and dream again, and have another most incredible dream in my life.
Maybe that bad oil was a good sign. It just keeps you dreaming, and your
well, yeah.
The blessing.
Now, I'm not going to share the most far out dream.
Oh,
I'm going to share a far out dream. I've told it to you before, but you weren't even listening when I told you before.
This belongs in the Grunta Samadhi. It's so esoteric you cannot tell it.
That one's in the Grunta Samadhi.
Okay.
I'm going to pull this one out of the Grunta Samadhi. So I was having a dream, and it was like watching a documentary. And
yes, all my spiritual dreams are like watching documentaries. They're like in a special film, and right?
It had a narrator.
Yes. Yes.
You've had dreams like that?
Yeah.
So I had this dream, and it was like, and in the background, it was like, it sounded like hundreds of thousands of devotees chanting in kirtan.
Yes. I've had
you
these
had
dreams,
this dream
man.
Too?
Not this dream, but
are you trying to one up me on my dream?
No. I'm just saying. I think there's a caliber of nighttime thing that happens that's not of this world.
Well, there was this narrator, and it was like in the background, it was like thousands of people chanting, and it was powerful, Raghunath. It was powerful.
Right.
And then the narrator was saying, over the ages, throughout the centuries, men have created, have established, great temples, to
Right. Glorify
commemorate
God.
or whatever, glorify the God. But with the passage of the force of time, all of those temples eventually crumble into dust.
Mm.
But the holy name of Krishna goes on. And I was like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Wow, that's a great
It's like,
dream.
whoa. Then I'd wake up, throw up again, come back to it. And I was like, whoa.
You gotta bring it right back down to earth.
Yeah. But I didn't mind because I was having such incredible dreams. That was
These are, these are real things. These are special glimpses. We should do a book on devotee dreams.
that'd be far out. That'd be far out.
Okay, my friend, let's get back into the real world, which is the temporary world and the fake world.
The fake world.
Let's go back into the fake world. It's so funny because people actually say, "Will you get real?" You ever like distribute a book on the street and you're distributing a book and someone's like, "Get a life, get real." That was like a thing in the 90s. Get real. Yeah, this is real. You're not real. This body's not real. Your whole existence is not real. Your fashion is not real. Right? The coolest car you get is going to be uncool in 6 years from now. Everything is temporary. Everything's changing. Even your face is not real. That's going to melt.
You want a new one next year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Get real. We're trying to. I'm trying to get real. My whole life, I'm trying to get real.
I don't need you to tell me to get real. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
That's why I'm on the street wearing this crazy outfit, giving you Bhagavad Gitas. I'm trying to get real.
Okay, Raghunath. I think we're on text 34 today.
I mean, it takes a type of sincerity to wear a dhoti in New York City in the middle of the ruckus and the bustle of New York City and hand out Bhagavad Gitas. You got to be really into what you're talking about, because there's no amount of money that if I put an ad on the Village Voice, if they still have the Village Voice, if they put an ad and said, okay, we're going to pay you, how much would it take a man, to shave off their head, shave their head, have a ponytail, put on a robe, and distribute Bhagavad Gitas? How many dollars an hour would you do that job for if it was a paid job? I'm not going to shave off my hair to get $10 an hour, $15, $30 an hour, $100 an hour. I got to shave off my head. I got to wear a robe on the street. No one's going to do that. You didn't get paid anything. You just got to really believe in it. You got to really believe in it. Who would do that for money?
There was that day that you and I went, I'm not sure if it was this day or not, but that day you and I went out and it was so cold and that your plastic Tupperware slid off of the deck of the van and cracked when it hit the ground like 2 feet below.
Me and Kaustubha, I wish we had videos. I wish I could go back, have a dash cam of you and me doing stuff together, distributing books. I was always the worst at it. I was always like, I'm always be like, Kaustubha was just like distributing books, and I'm just like, I need a mental health day today. I'm gonna go stay in the van and read.
But I remember going out in literal blizzards. And it's like Christmas time, so people are shopping anyway, and they're running out of the store just like desperate to get to their car like as quickly as they can because the wind is blowing and the snow is blowing all around, and you run up to them full of enthusiasm. And you got so much enthusiasm that they actually stop and listen to you in the middle of this snowstorm, and they say, okay, I'll take one of those.
It's unbelievable, actually. It's like some special magical transmission. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Text 34. This is
oh, look at Mara. Mara just said, let's read. Let's read. Okay.
So this is Canto 6, Chapter 9, Text 34.
Yep.
The Devas are speaking and they're glorifying Lord Vishnu.
Oh, Lord, you need no support, and although you have no material body, you do not need cooperation from us. Since you are the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and you supply its material ingredients without being transformed, you create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation by yourself. Nevertheless, although you appear engaged in material activity, you are transcendental to all material qualities. Consequently, these transcendental activities of yours are extremely difficult to understand.
Yep. Yeah, we just in the previous verse, that was the verse you may remember, Raghunath, that it was talking about the Paramahamsas. You remember that?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
your lordship is realized by the topmost sannyasis, right? If this world is a big stereogram, everybody's walking around it just seeing the surface, not seeing the actual image within the stereogram. The only ones that are seeing everything that there is to see, they say, the Devas are saying, are the topmost sannyasis, those who renounce let go of their material desires, external desires. Those are the ones that actually get to see something, the truth, the real,
Right.
the real
Otherwise, we're
images.
seeing that stereogram and we're trapped in it, and we're trying to explain it. We're trying to figure it out. You can't. You got to steer deeply. And then all of a
Okay, so
sudden,
then they say,
pop.
your lordship is realized by the topmost sannyasis who wander about the world to preach Krishna consciousness, fully absorbed in samadhi through bhakti yoga. Now they're saying, it's hard to understand you because everything, you are entirely spiritual, entirely removed. We're locked up. We're in illusion. We can't see everything there is to see, and we're being influenced by external subtle influences that have us confused about what is real and what is unreal, what will make us happy and what won't make us happy. We are confused. You walk into this place totally unconfused. You're maintaining the whole place. The whole place consists of nothing but your energy, right? You appear to even be engaged within this. Like, we're hearing about how Vishnu comes when there's this problem, and he comes when there's that problem, and he's working everything out. It seems like he's kind of like involved in it, but he's actually completely beyond it all. He's entirely untouched by it. They're saying, consequently, these transcendental activities of yours are extremely difficult to understand. Understanding who you really are is escaping us. Okay, text 35.
Text 35. These are our inquiries. The ordinary conditioned soul is subject to the material laws. That's us.
Okay. What are the material laws?
What are the material laws?
Yeah, like what are they talking
about? Well, we're bound by our body. We're owned by our senses and our mind.
Yeah, you could say law of karma.
We suffer, right? The law of karma.
Whatever activities I do, I get a reaction for them. You could say the gunas, right? There's I'm being influenced by subtle external forces that shape my mind. They adjust my desires. Even I'm unaware of it, but
there's time. There's time. The time factor plays a role on us.
Yeah,
so those are all material body. I have to die and get diseased.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ordinary conditions. So.
Unless he receives the
read
fruits.
Read
These
that
are inquiries. The ordinary conditioned soul is subject to the material laws, and he thus receives the fruits of his actions. Right, whatever you do, you're going to get some. That's your karma. Does your lordship, like an ordinary human being, exist within this material world in a body produced by the material modes?
Like us,
right? Do you enjoy or suffer the good or bad results of actions under the influence of time?
Because you seem to be engaged here with the rest of us sometimes.
Yeah, you're stepping into this prison house, right? Past work and so forth. Like you're held by past work, right? We get born into this world, and we've done past work. We've done past work in our past lives, and we're ready to reap those fruits. They're going to sprout into something.
Body based on it, mental conception shaped by our previous actions.
Habits. We're born. This is interesting. We're born with habits.
We're a big bundle of habits.
A big bundle of habits. A big bag of habits. And we're born into it. We've done nothing in this body sometimes to even get those habits.
Could have been the last life.
Last life. I've been practicing violin. Duh. We don't know. Do you enjoy or suffer? Huh?
And then, are you like us, kind of under this law of karma, or
on the contrary, are you present here only as a neutral witness who's self-sufficient, free from all material desires, and always full of spiritual potency? We certainly cannot understand your actual position.
I think they know that. I think they got a hunch that he's beyond that, because they never see him suffering like them.
No.
He's bonded, right?
O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all contradictions can be reconciled in you. O Lord, since you are the supreme person, the reservoir of unlimited spiritual qualities, the supreme controller, your unlimited glories are inconceivable to the conditioned souls. Many modern theologians argue about right and wrong without knowing what is actually right.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. They're right. They're arguing without even knowing what's right. Oh, Krishna. Their arguments are always false and their judgments inconclusive because they have no authorized evidence with which to gain knowledge of you. Because their minds are agitated by scriptures containing false conclusions, they are unable to understand the truth concerning you. Furthermore, because of polluted eagerness to arrive at the right conclusion, their theories are incapable of revealing you.
Interesting.
Right?
A polluted eagerness. There's such thing as a pure eagerness, a non-polluted eagerness, a healthy eagerness. Yeah. This is a pollutedness. To know it's a polluted eagerness to know, but what's polluted about the motive behind it, right? I want knowledge so that I'm better than others. I want knowledge so that I'm respected. I want knowledge so that I can humiliate others and still feel still better, right? That's a polluted eagerness, and it's blinding us to seeing the true stereogram image, or seeing the network behind everything. Okay. Furthermore, because of polluted eagerness, you got it. Keep going. Keep staring. You look like you're staring at the stereogram.
Polluted eagerness to arrive at the right conclusion. Their theories are incapable of revealing you, who are transcendental to their material conceptions. Boom. You are one without a second, and therefore, in your contradictions, like doing and not doing, happiness and distress are not contradictory. Your potency is so great that it can do and undo anything as you like. With the help of that potency, what is impossible for you? Since there's no duality in your constitutional position, you can do everything by the influence of your energy, right? It's got nothing
Interesting.
To do with karma.
You know, we're reading this as normal people. But like if you get like a real scientist, an open-minded scientist, right?
No part-time scientists, real.
Well, even a full-time, it could be a full-time scientist, but with a closed mind.
Yeah.
But the idea being that we recognize that there are certain laws that are operating. The scientists will recognize there are certain laws that operate within this universe, and then in developments in modern science, they say sometimes those laws are broken, right?
Yep.
And so they could understand that it would be theoretically possible for someone to, at least under certain circumstances, to operate beyond those laws. What's being said here is that you're the one without a second. You're the one that's kind of behind everything. You are entirely unbound by the laws that bound all of us. And therefore, there's no such thing as contradiction for you. Like in the world that we exist in, there's something called the fluctuation between happiness and distress, right? Like if we reach out and get external happiness, we understand that that comes along with a dose of external distress. Now, when Krishna is demonstrating happiness and distress, like for instance, let's say, take Lord Nrsingadev, right? Here's Lord Vishnu appears as a half man, half lion, for a particular purpose, right? I mean, multi-purposes. One was to, on behalf of the Devas, to eliminate this asura, this demon that was creating all kind of trouble. But the deepest reason is out of love. He was appearing for his devotee Prahlad, and that gave him such satisfaction to out of my love for you, to step up and protect you. That rasa, the flavor of fighting for one that you love, that Vishnu wants to experience this. He comes in the form of this very unique, special form. Now, it appears he's very upset right? Feels like he's not very peaceful minded. He's not just sitting there in a state of contentment. He's very disturbed. He's very upset. But that is not the material upset condition that we're in when we get angry. That is his own unique, special, spiritual, loving rasa that he's tasting a unique flavor of. He's tasting a unique flavor of love. So he's not like us, they're saying, right? He's
Not
he's
pulled
not
around.
under the same laws. He's not under
Not
the same
controlled
laws.
by
He's-
rage.
Yeah, his rage is bliss. His bliss is bliss, and his rage is bliss. There's nothing contradictory in that sense in him. You know, he's kind of like one. You know, yeah. It may look like it's two.
He
but it's all
manifests
one.
rage, but it's
But it's the same.
it's not
but it's the
controlling
same-
him. We get controlled. The conditioned soul gets controlled by rage. He manifests rage for our benefit because it brings out an emotion, a loving emotion in us. We're like, oh, Lord Vishnu's going to save him.
Yeah, that's right. It
Right.
goes both ways. It's relished by the
Yeah.
devotee, and it's relished by him. Now, this next text is going to go further into that classic analogy shared here, Raghu.
A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake. I've done that before. I've seen a
Really?
rope
Literally?
at night at dusk.
I'm-
and, "Ah!"
That is the classic analogy in Vedanta.
Vedic analogy of
You want to
illusion.
get to the most, yeah.
Right?
The
You see a rope,
the,
you
the
think
rope
it's
being mistaken for the snake in the dark.
especially like walking through India where you're thinking everything's a snake.
Right.
You know, especially in the old days when it was less paved, it was almost like there's a snake, there's a snake. Everything was a snake back then.
Okay.
A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with proper intelligence who knows it only to be a rope. Yep. Shine light on that.
Shine
rope.
a light on it.
Shine the light, shine the light, shine the light. Philadelphia freedom. Woo! Okay. You, as the
Who sang that? Raghu? Who sang it?
The Eagles?
Oh, come
No.
on, Raghu, not even
I don't
close.
know.
That's Elton John.
Oh, Elton John. I did know that.
Yeah. The Eagles.
The Eagles. You know why? I was thinking about the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why.
that must have been it.
The Europeans are like, what are you talking about?
Funny how the mind works, huh?
Yes.
Okay, similar. So let's start this text again.
As
Rope.
a rope causes fear, bewildered. A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with proper intelligence who knows it only to be a rope.
A rope.
Similarly, you, as the super soul in everyone's heart, inspire fear or fearlessness according to one's intelligence, but in you, there is no duality.
Okay, that's interesting, right? I find that very interesting, and this
Oh.
is kind of tying into what where we started. It's when it says that within you there's no duality. You know what this verse speaks to, Raghunath?
What?
It speaks to radical responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That if one person is looking at this world and seeing it as the spiritual world,
Yeah.
and another person is looking at the world and seeing it as a place of stress and anxiety,
Yeah.
it's not that God is being nice to one of them and not the other.
Oh, I like that. It's a vantage point.
It's a vantage point that in a sense we've all chosen based on our desires. And there's no duality in Krishna, but within the heart, he's inspiring us to see one way or the other according to our desire, right? So let's read again. As a rope, it was two people look at a rope, and one person is thinking, "Oh, that's a rope," because the Paramatma is in the heart saying, "There's a rope," and another person is looking at the same rope, and the Paramatma is in the heart saying, "Look out, there's a snake." And based on that, you feel stress, you feel anxiety, at least momentarily, right?
Yeah.
So a rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with proper intelligence who knows it to be only a rope. Similarly, you, as the super soul in everyone's heart, inspire fear or fearlessness, according to one's intelligence. But in you, there's no duality. You create your own filter, right, based on your desire. And the more that our desire is based on, I want to be the center, I want to enjoy the externals, I want to forget God, the more that we're prone to illusion, the more that we're prone to fear. And two people look at the same thing, and one is like, it's a rope. And the other's like, oh no, it's a snake.
Right. The whole world is riddled with this type of anxiety by not understanding the rope. It's a rope and not a snake. Which reminds me of the hours of enjoyment I had when I brought a big rubber snake to the Govardhan Eco Village for various pranks on everyone. Oh,
that duality does exist in you, Raghunath. You're pranking, so I'm not pranking. Although I guess you must have seen some people seeing it as a snake, and some people probably saw it as a rubber snake, right?
Most people saw it as a real snake.
Okay.
Especially when you hide it in their room somewhere. Okay.
I once saw a big snake over there.
Let's not talk about it. I'm getting
You're getting scared.
Attendance is going to go down. Okay. All right, Miss Mara, it is time to wrap up this transcendental show. Let's evoke some rage.
Let's evoke some rage.
Right.
I was thinking about some takeaways.
Road rage.
There you go.
Okay.
We have one real identity and we've forgotten.
Say it again.
We have one real identity and we've forgotten.
Okay. You've forgotten.
Yep.
Spirituality means trying to see who's holding it all together.
There you go.
Who's trying to see? Yep.
It's trying to create us desperately.
Seems like these should all be songs, but they're not.
No.
They don't all have to be songs.
I know, but they're
as a matter
so
of fact,
classic.
none of them have to be.
Yeah.
I know, but they're so classic. It seems like that should be a song.
Hear from people who have seen behind the tapestry.
They know what's going on back there.
Mm-hmm.
Then try to see it yourself.
Private eyes watching you. Is that it?
Let go of the desire for prestige and sense gratification to see the Vishnu Stereogram.
There you go.
Let go.
Vishnu Stereogram.
Yep.
Follow the clues in Shastra to catch Krishna.
If you walk the way I will follow. Who is that?
I'm not even going to tell you.
Purify our eagerness for God.
Purify that eagerness.
Eagerness for God. It's nothing. I just made that up.
External happiness comes with a dose of external distress.
It does.
Do-si-do.
God's rage is bliss and his bliss is bliss.
That's right. It's bliss is bliss.
Our vantage point and filter is according to our desires.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Buffalo gals going around the outside. Remember that one? Malcolm
Please.
McLaren.
Please. Please.
All right.
Maris, like, Jesus.
It's like not even.
She's got to deal with me all day. I feel so bad for you. It's like it doesn't go away when the show stops. I'm just here on her all day.
Shine a light on the rope.
Shine
That's
a
right.
light. Shine a light.
And
Philadelphia freedom.
we're trying to get real.
Philadelphia cream cheese. Huh. Okay, you guys. Happy Monday. Happy Govardhan Puja. Why doesn't everybody spend some time reading the Govardhan Puja Leela today? That's
still
a great
Diwali
one.
over here.
Huh? Still Diwali over there?
Yeah, it'll be.
Well, it's
over
nighttime. Wake up. Wait a second. Why are we ahead of you?
Because it's the moon. It's not the sun.
I can't figure that out. I can't figure it out. It's 35 years in. I still can't figure this stuff out. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tolerating all my nonsense. Thank you, Kaustubha, for sharing your dreams and your heart. And I am like a stereogram too. Do you know that? You look in my eyes, deeper and deeper and deeper, and then all of a sudden, pop! You will see my heart. Ah! But you gotta look in my eyes.
All right, we'll try it later, some other time.
Oh, everybody, it's a good Monday, huh? It's going to be a great week, I think. That's my feeling. That's my vibe this week. It's going to be a good week. Got to tell your friends. Got to tell your friends what's going on. Oh, Naveen Radha, gosh, he just sent me a picture of Govardhan Hill. Thank you.